My name is Linda Neukirchner, and today I'll be speaking about the future of restaurant dining experiences and the trend towards contactless technology. Let's start by looking at the changes and trends we've seen since the beginning of this year. Even before the onset of the pandemic, we were seeing customer adoption of mobile payments increasing. Contributing factors include mass adoption of mobile devices, the emergence of digital wallet platforms such as Apple Pay and Google Pay, and the increased desire for convenience and control. 2020 has added another factor to that list, which is obviously safety. The early dining room closures saw restaurants rush to provide off-premise dining options, while the reopening of restaurants has been marked by the implementation of contactless technologies aimed at ensuring a safe environment for both team members and guests. The questions that businesses struggling to reopen their doors are asking are: which solutions will remain in place once the pandemic subsides? How will consumers' priorities change? And what new expectations will they have for the dining experience? Let's start with contactless technologies, since it's the solution that's already trending and the one that's likely the quickest and least expensive to implement. From studying online review sites, we know that the guest chatter has been dominated by mentions of visible cleanliness, adherence to local COVID guidelines, and particularly the wearing of masks. We can glean from this the fact that guests are patronizing restaurants that make them feel safe. You've undoubtedly noticed the scannable QR codes popping up on restaurant tables everywhere and have likely scanned at least one to view a menu on your mobile device, particularly where municipalities have discouraged or prohibited the handling of multi-use menus. While the browsable menu is a great start, does that really make for a safe and clean dining experience? Do you feel as safe when you're presented with a check, asked to hand over your credit card, and required to sign the receipt with a pen? Of course, restaurants are adopting technology at a pace consistent with their budget, tech stack capabilities, and resources. Some are starting small with plans to expand their offerings as business evolves, and some are going all in on technology. One polished burger brand out of California now allows guests to control the entire dining experience from their mobile device. The available conveniences include adding your name to a wait list or being digitally guided to an available table, mobile menu browsing, mobile ordering, server notifications, and of course, contactless payment. Brands that adopt most or all of these technologies are closing the loop on the safe and convenient dining experience. Another factor of unit economics under scrutiny is the labor model, as staff resources must be reallocated to accommodate the changing requirements brought about by the pandemic. Depending on your brand's genre, your labor model has likely changed significantly as the elimination of self-service drinks, condiment stations, and buffets required rethinking your staffing needs. Does that mean choosing between increasing your labor cost or dropping your level of service? Not necessarily. By taking advantage of available technologies, you can continue to provide a world-class dining experience while minimizing the impact on your staffing budget. In addition to making your staff and guests feel safer, technology can contribute to your bottom line by increasing average tickets as well as table turns. In one example of a brand using mobile payment technology for guests to split and pay their bill, the team members are seeing tables turn in 20 to 25% less time than before. That means on average, a server previously managing 4 tables can now manage 6, saving labor resources, putting more money in your servers' pockets, and helping to retain valuable team members. Another example is having hosts enter phone-in orders directly to the POS via a tablet rather than having to pass the order off to a server to handle. The last trend we're going to talk about today are changes to the physical restaurant building. While many of these transformations take longer and require a bigger investment, we're nevertheless seeing a shift in the brick and mortar arena. To offset restricted or reduced capacities, many locations are optimizing their dining rooms to better accommodate off-premise programs with minimal disruption. This could include adding designated cubbies for picking up to-go orders, allocating a line in the back of the house specifically for fulfilling off-premise items, or even designating parking spaces for curbside ordering and pickup. Many innovations, including the addition of drive-through lanes, are altering the size of brick-and-mortar locations. With consumers understandably reducing their incidence of dining in at restaurants, operators are discovering that some dining room space may be better allocated to serve off-premise solutions. Initially, this is leading to a surge in the number of units building drive-thrus, the number of drive-thrus per unit, and the advent of pickup windows, specifically for collecting previously placed orders. To take it further, some brands are already experimenting with digital concepts supporting only pickup and delivery. Established brands are leveraging empty or underutilized real estate, as well as labor resources, by hosting or participating in ghost kitchens. While reoptimizing physical space could be one way restaurants adjust their cost structure, there are other things to consider. Hosting an additional brand could mean extra equipment, training, and staff, which can all be costly barriers to entry. This can be mitigated somewhat by partnering with a similar concept, as in one case where a pastry shop that was open only until 3 p.m. began executing a new pizza concept at night. The staff was well versed on baking dough from scratch, the equipment needs were similar, and as a bonus, the pizza menu included dessert items consisting of the morning's leftovers. Another stumbling block for restaurants looking to maximize their revenue streams is the distribution of the food. It's difficult to enter the digital-only space without going through a large third-party delivery service, which can take 25 to 30% of revenue right off the top. The off-premise market is certainly booming, and we're seeing large investments being made in ghost kitchen concepts. As with all new undertakings, restaurants will need a planned strategy that ensures a seamless implementation and a positive effect on unit economics. There's no doubt that the evolved customer journey will revolve around innovation. You've likely been forced to reduce your capacity or even to close your dining room altogether, so use this time to reevaluate your brand's tech stack. The key to reopening will be to determine which solutions will invite guests back into your restaurant and keep them coming in the years ahead. Some of the factors in choosing which innovations your brand will implement include cost, ease of integration, and brand compatibility. Look for cost-effective solutions in the market that can readily integrate with your existing tech stack to minimize costs and accelerate implementation time. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and never has that been more evident than with the way the restaurant industry has evolved in just a few short months. The innovations that used to be differentiators are now table stakes for doing business, and how your restaurant responds will have a large impact on both recovery and brand longevity.